Peace. Hi, I'm Peter Panagore, Kriya Yogi, Masters of Divinity from Yale in Mysticism and Renegade Liberal Clergy, natural-born mystical misfit, transcendental freethinker, near-death experiencer times 2, out-of-body experiencer times many, times, and wordsmith, channeler of peace, unity experiencer pointing at the light above, found within, soul lover, self lover, because I know that I am infinitely loved by the beloved. A seeker, just like you, perpetual student. Welcome to Not Church, where we seek the prime mover and affable, experiential, using sources from the East and from the West. No doctrine, no dogma. Deconstructing sacred stories with a single eye uncovering light's hidden meaning. I speak mysticism with a culturally Christian accent. I quote truth wherever I see it. Last week, God isn't judge, so why should you? What I learned when I was dead in hell. Click the link below, check it out, and welcome to Not Church. And because we aren't live today, maybe you could have your usual conversational chat in the comment section. Maybe. I don't know if that'll work, but maybe it's worth a try. Today, my talk is once more by request. Send in your requests. And this is the title. Use spirituality to love yourself more. Use spirituality to love yourself more. And we'll look at Rumi in Genesis, Mark, 1 John, and the supermodel Tyra Banks. Because, I quote wisdom wherever I see it. Let's set a tone, an inner vibration together here and now in a brief time, of centering silence, in stillness, aiming at quiet and balance. Distance and time between where and when you are and where and when I am makes no difference to the omnipresent universal quanta field. Open your mind. Open your heart. Centering prayer is stepping aside in surrender while aiming your single intention at the Elohim, Source, Allah, ineffable, who is love and channels peace and self-love. So if you haven't already, pick a sacred word or a brief sentence or a prayer you know by heart to chant inside yourself, following your breath. And when your mind wanders off, return to your chant and follow your breath. It's simple. Learn more about practicing centering prayer in the notes below. And for now, close your eyes, please, and follow along as we begin with chanting Om aloud to move our prana and to lift our life force energy, which is our soul. And I hope you can join us in that. You who are yogis and yoginis, give it a shot. Right there in the privacy of your own secret home, silent. And then once we're done chanting a little bit, where two or three are gathered, I am there, said Jesus, and we're going to begin our centering prayer. We're going to pray inside ourselves into silence. Because no matter where we are, even if we're apart, we're together because the I am binds us so. So here we go. Close your eyes, please. Vibrating in your chest and your throat and your third eye. I pull my butt muscles tight. I pull my stomach in. Write your breath. Write your chant on your breath. Use spirituality to love yourself more. When you do things from your soul, you feel a river of joy within you, wrote Rumi. When you do things from your soul, you feel a river of love within you. When you do things from your soul, you feel a river of peace within you. Joy, love, peace are streams, they're branches from the great river of love. They're the same waters, though separate. 2, 3 different streams coming off. Actually, many, many more. But today, I want to talk about joy, love, and peace. These streams. Because if you feel one of these streams flowing through you, then all the streams flow through you. Because it all comes from the one great river. So open your mind, open your heart to feel. So when you do things from your soul, you feel a river of love within you. This is the source of self-love. And this is you. This love is you. From this one love flows all love. From this one love flows self-love. Well, what are you made of? Love. In Genesis 1:27, yes, okay, this is going to be a different translation or interpretation than you've probably ever heard. Genesis 1:27, so Elohim, the one and many, the singularity and the plurality, paradoxically both simultaneously, or so I saw when I was dead, and still see today, created and creates human beings, human kind, in their own image. Right here, right now, you are created in the image of love. No love, no life. In the image of the singularity and plurality, they created us with male and female parts of many genders. They created us. Genesis 1:27 is a myth that tells us a truth about ourselves, a capital T truth, that we are made of light and love in the image of the divine. The image of the divine image in each of us, which I see is goodness incarnate, a radiance of love light. So, do you want to love yourself? And who doesn't? But do you want to love yourself? Jesus taught, seek love, capital L, above all things of earth. Seek the divine above all things of earth. This is a sure path to self-love. Love others as you love yourself, he said. Fall in love with yourself by falling in love with the beloved, capital T, capital B. And this relationship will lead to self-love. Love your neighbor as yourself and love God above all things. It is a triangle. Each one is the other. If there is a trinity, this is it. love neighbor, love self, love God, they're all the same thing. If you know love, then you know God. If you've ever known love, then you've known God. Simple as that. 1 John 4:8, my heart knows this is true. But sometimes my brain doesn't like it very much. I know I am beloved, but sometimes my brain doesn't accept it as much as my heart does. I know 1 John 4:8 is true. God is love. I've seen it. I've been there. It lives inside me. But as a mortal human being, I suffer the same ailments and troubles as everybody else. For the longest time after my near-death experience, I loved my soul, and my soul loved me. I loved the beloved, and the beloved loved me, but I didn't like myself very much as a human being. I mourned for my loss of heaven. I mourned for my stupid choice. I've come to accept it, but for the longest time I didn't. And I walked in inner darkness, in the inner darkness of self-recrimination, repeating to myself, why did I come back? I don't fit in. It's so dark here, so suffering, so oppressive, and I am so dumb here. Keep your mouth shut, I say to myself. Keep my mouth shut. Why did I say this? Because I feared speaking what I could not say. Sometimes when I spoke, I said not good things. And then I'd say to myself, and I still do, why did you say that? Or, you shouldn't have done that. I'd say to God, I'm not worthy. Why'd you pick me? I just want to go home. I made a terrible mistake being born again, and I blamed God. And I said, you tricked me. You deceived me. You didn't tell me what I needed to know. And what I created for myself inside my brain, even though I loved my soul and saw a light, I created a darkness. I wasn't loving my body. Yes, I loved my body. I loved having fun, but I didn't like being alive. I so often said or did the wrong thing, and it often got me in trouble. My NDE mind tied to my ADHD brain, it was a dangerous combination of, impetuousness and disregard. My guilty conscience, it never lets me down. It never ever lets me down. I do something wrong, it tells me, and it tells me, and it tells me, and it tells me. Whenever I do or say something wrong, it lets me know. Sure, yes, true. Knowing where I'm from and knowing where I'm going gives me a great amount of freedom and strength. Knowing that heaven is my home and that I am eternal, not believing this, but knowing this is true, it's freeing. And it sure helps me. But like everybody else, I need self-care. Clergy quickly learn when they're young, or they burn out. They quickly learn no one cares about the well-being of the pastor except the pastor. Pastors must learn self-care. And so we're pretty good at it, those of us who survive. Self-love is divine inner connection. At its core, self-love is a divine inner connection to love itself. But there are practical things we can do for self-care of the body. And I decided, since I do a little bit about it, but not a lot about it, that I look it up. And I'm going to give you some self-care, self-love tips for you on a body level. And you're going to find the link for this down below, where I got these 30 ways to practice self-love, which I edited. And I've lived. And you're going to hear stuff in here that you've done. And you're going to learn things that you didn't know, like me. I learned. Tell yourself something positive. Right now, tell yourself something positive about yourself. I'm going to say, my face feels good when I smile. Tell yourself anything to make you smile. Just right now, just smile. Because smiling, it lifts the countenance. I'm going to run through this list. You are what you eat. Eat and drink foods that nourish you. Exercise. Love your body as is, as it changes. And that's not easy for people aging. But love your body as it is. And I'm working on that one. You can't hate yourself into love. You can't hate yourself into love. If you're hating on yourself, you can't hate yourself into love. Now get out of toxic, abusive, and poisonous relationships. Make a plan and get out. Get help if you need help getting out. When negative thoughts arise, pause and chant your centering prayer mantra until your thought dissolves. Surround yourself with positive people who love you and encourage you. Self-comparison to others creates suffering in the mind. When we compare ourselves to other people, we create suffering for ourselves. Here's a good one. Celebrate your wins. Big wins or little wins. Celebrate your wins. Make yourself feel good that you've succeeded, that you've won, whatever it is. Stretch outside your comfort zone. Trying something new builds self-esteem. Have you done anything new lately? Try something new. Even if it doesn't work. It stretches and builds your self-esteem. Embrace what makes you unique. That's kind of tough for a lot of mystics because we're so outside in the world but not of the world. But embrace what makes you unique. Maybe, well, I can name a whole bunch of things that make me unique. Some of them positive, some of them less so. And beauty is within. And remember, social media is filled with filters. The beauty you see there, not all of it's real. Meditate every day. And that leads to peace in the world, in your world, and peace within, and connection to that source of love. Find and do your passion. Be patient with yourself. Be mindful of what you do, think, want, and feel. Meditation helps with this. Treat others with love and respect. Treat yourself with respect as well. Meditation helps with this too. There's one that's very popular. Be grateful every day for something large or small. I'm grateful that I get to be here with you. I'm grateful that I get to be up at my niece's wedding this weekend too. Talk to family, friends, or healers who will help you through a tough time or help you deal with your trauma. You're not alone. Here's an important one. Learn to say no. Say no. I can't do that. Don't have the time. Don't want to stress myself. This is a tough one. This is the toughest one, I think. Forgive yourself for whatever you did that made you feel embarrassed, bad, or ashamed. Now, how do you do that? Guess what helps? Repeat in your mind a new chant. And the chant is, I forgive myself. I forgive myself. I forgive myself. Or, I am loved. I am loved. I am loved. I find that writing helps me think. So I write down things no matter how crazy or sad or mean or terrifying, and then destroy them. I organize them in my head, I think them through, and then I throw them out. Don't forget to disconnect. Turn off that media. Give yourself respite care. And this is a hard one too. Give yourself a break if you need one. You're no good to anybody else unless you care for yourself, unless you take a break. Because lack of rest is damaging. So rest. And no one needs to be a people pleaser. We don't need their approval. Get healing help moving past your traumas. Here's a good one. Find an easy one. Find a happy place and go there. Listen to your inner dialogue to hear what you say to yourself. And guess what helps with that? Replace negative thoughts with a story of self-worth. Learn to listen to your inner dialogue. Listen to yourself and give yourself a new story. And have fun. Because you're made of love in the image of the beloved. You're made from love. So, touch on your heart within you. And inside there, find self-love, soul love, utterly and eternally beloved. And become flawsome. Embrace your flaws and know you're awesome regardless. Flawsome. Thanks, Tyra Banks. Be flawsome because you're beloved as you are for who you are. Because you are made of light and love and goodness. You are beloved. Reach for it and feel for it. So if this video touched you or helped you, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, click the alert button. In the comments, please tell me what technique you use for self-care, or how you came to love yourself, or maybe what gets in your way. I'll be reading the comments this week, as I always do, and next Sunday we'll be live again. And of course I'm passing the hat today, peterpanagore.love. Look for the spinning red heart, PayPal, Patreon, and Venmo. Thanks. Thanks. Your help literally keeps Not Church alive as a mystical voice of light and love in a community, as a community. I'm on this daily because you help. So check out my recent brief questions and answer video. It's down below. It's a link down below. Mystic Tea Salon is canceled today because I'm at a family wedding this weekend up in the western mountains of Maine, where there is, where to get cell reception, everybody in town has to drive a truck or a car up to the top of a hill in order to get cell reception, because just isn't any. So I'll see you next week, and I'll be back on Monday, this Monday, if you want to book a time with me at peterpanagore.love. See you Monday morning for Monday morning meditation. Peace and love, my friends. I'll see you soon. Namaste. Let me know what you think in the comments. Peace.